What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to find out what position matters most in NHL 22. Is it the offense, defense, or goaltending? And to do this, I've built 3 custom teams. One has 100 offense, the other 100 defense, and finally the third has 100 goaltending. Right here, guys, they look at the first team. This is the 100 defense team. They're the Denmark defense with a shield there as a logo because, of course, use that shield to defend. So they have the 6 best defensemen in the NHL on their team. Quick look there at the home jersey and away with the red and white colors there for Denmark. Actually ended up having just like 3 European teams for whatever reason. Next here, you got the France forwards. Again, the 12 best forwards in the game. Their logos. Got the swords, of course, for the offense. We've also got the French colors there, of course. I actually really like how the star goes from blue to white to red, just like the flag. Right here, guys, can look at the home jersey as well as the away. And then finally, guys, we have the Great Britain goalies. I thought that logo just kind of looked like a brick wall, so it really fit the goalies. Now, they're the only team that has a legend on their team in Patrick Waugh. Reason being, they wouldn't have 100 goaltending otherwise. Also, too, I was thinking, if Vasilevsky was their starter, they essentially would have just been Tampa Bay Lightning after trading away like all their skaters for sure going to be their backup. Wouldn't make a whole ton of sense. So here's a look at the Great Britain goalies home jersey and away. So we're going to see how all 3 of these teams do in an NHL season. Now for the simulation, guys, we're actually using season mode. That way I can control all 3 teams. Also not have to worry about chemistry. So I want to kind of make it balanced here. Have 1 team in each division. Columbus there is the lowest rated team in the Metro. I'm going to put the forwards there because I think the Metro is pretty good. So we got the France forwards. You can see 69 overall. Sort of nice. I mean, I think they are the highest rated. Next in the Atlantic there, the Buffalo Sabres are the lowest rated team. So we're going to put the Denmark defense in that division. You can see they're 68 overall. So only 1 overall below the forwards. And then in regards to the West, I'm actually going to keep the Coyotes in the Central. That way the team that's in the West has another low-rated team to play against. So I'm going to pull out the Sharks here in the Pacific and sub in the goalie team. This team by far the lowest rated. Yeah, they're 56 overall there. So probably not going to do too good, but you never know. And real quick, guys, I want to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Live events are back, and that means you can get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek using code TACTICS. And if you guys have somehow never heard of SeatGeek, it's a ticketing app that makes buying tickets super simple, especially if you download the app on your phone. By far and away, the easiest way to buy tickets. Whether it's a hockey game, concert, festival, football, basketball, baseball, doesn't matter what it is, SeatGeek takes tickets from all over the web and puts them into one place to make buying super simple. SeatGeek also has a color-coded system, so you know when you're getting a good deal. If it's green, it's a good deal. Dark green's the best. And if it's red, it's a bad deal. And honestly, guys, since I'm in Windsor, I'm just excited for the border to be opening back up. That way I can start going to Red Wings games again, even Tigers games in the summer. And to make sure you guys are getting the best deal possible, use my code TACTICS for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase using promo code TACTICS. And make sure you click the link in the description box below to download the SeatGeek app. And next year, guys, I'll show you the lines for each team. I should mention, too, for each team's position that's not 100, I use the Adirondack Thunder ECHL team to fill out the rest of the roster. So the position that's not 100 is pretty bad, as you guys will see. Starting off here with the France forwards. I mean, look how stacked they are. Draisaitl, McDavid, Kane, Kucherov, Matthews, Ovechkin, just a ton of the best scorers in the NHL. Marchand, Crosby, McKinnon, like the superstar East Coast line. Pastrnak, Huberdeau, Panarin. I think Huberdeau played center and junior, so they should be okay. Defensively here, you guys can see, you got a couple 65s on the top pair, 60, 64, 58, 58. They're not great at all. And then goaltending-wise, you got Schneider there, 66 starter. And then Sakalaropoulos, hopefully I said that right, as the backup. This guy doesn't even have a jersey for his picture there. He's got his suit on. So you guys can see, offense is going to carry this team, obviously. Now, in terms of special teams, I wanted to be fair, so I made sure they had at least one of the bad defensemen on each power play. Same goes for the 4-man, then PK. There's actually a couple, because that is kind of how a team would be set up. So after the offense, guys, we'll look at the defense here. So starting off, you can see, like, the Adirondack Thunder ECHL forward group. They do have some mid to high 60s, though, in the top 6. Now, defensively here, Hedman McCarr top pair is nasty. Fox Yossi second pair. Carlson McAvoy on the bottom pair. In terms of special teams, obviously every single defensive position is filled out by one of our defensemen, so that's kind of good. Like, for the special teams, I'd say half of the roster that's on the ice is good players, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough to kind of carry this team to the playoffs or anything. And then, of course, their goaltenders there are the exact same. And then finally, guys, the goaltender team, Patrick Waugh starting, Vasilevsky backing him up. They've also got Shesterkin there as the 3rd string. I think injuries are turned off, but just for fun. Of course, they have the same offense there as the defense team. Then their defense there is the same as the offense team. So, and like I said, I think the 100 offense team is definitely the best. They could make the playoffs, but the 100 defense team, the 100 goaltending team, I don't see having any chance. The 100 goaltending team will probably finish last NHL. So we're going to start simming here, guys. Whenever they play each other, I'm going to show you guys those games as going to be curious to see who comes out on top. And before we start the sim, guys, comment below. Let me know which team you think is going to do the best, whether it be 100 offense, 100 defense, or 100 goaltending. And our first matchup here, guys, is the defense versus the goalies. The defense team actually isn't doing too bad, 3-4-1, where the goalies there 0-7-1, so at least they did, force a game to overtime. Let's see what happens here. Defense is up 2, Yossi and ECHL guy, 4-0. Couple more ECHL players. They're finding ways to score on Patrick Waugh, and there you go. So the goalies couldn't even get one goal. Again, they're going to be in tough. And next year, guys, are the offense versus the defense. Offense is 7-7-1. Defense is now 8-7-2. See how this matchup goes. Does defense win championships? 0-0 after 1. 1-0 now. McDavid, 1-1. ECHL player again, going to OT. And an ECHL defenseman gets the game winner. Wow, you can see their offense double their shots, which makes sense. And we now have the offense versus the goalies. Offense is over 500, 11-10-1. Goalies have gotten a couple wins there. Again, I'm thinking they'll be last in the NHL. 3-0. Wow, matches the couple. ECHL guy gets one. 6-1. Marchand, Ovi, Kane. ECHL guy. Final score 9-2. McKinnon, Crosby, Panarin, ECHL guy gets one. So you can see there, the offensive team gets a ton of shots. And honestly, allowing 2 goals on 11 shots isn't great either. I mean, now a rematch between the defense and the offense. They actually played each other twice here in like 4 days. So offense 16-12, defense 10-17. Prediction so far looking pretty good. 2-0 for the defense. It's the ECHL guys getting it done. 2-2, McDavid, Kucherov. And defense holds on there. It's not even like the defense in scoring. I'm sure they are probably like setting up these goals. All the ECHL guys have to do is literally like tap the puck in, but still, that's a big win for them. And like I was saying, guys, we're having another rematch now, literally 3 days later. 5-1 for the offense. They were pissed. Ovi gets a hat trick in the first. Panarin and McKinnon each add one. 6-1 Crosby. 9-3. Fox Carlson gets some. Crosby, Marchand, Kane. Jeez, yeah, the offense team just went off. And we have the goalies with the defense. The goalies are up to 3 wins on the year. Not looking good. They do have, I think, 5 OT losses, though. 2-1. Okay, they're holding on. Yossi gets one on Waugh. 4-2. McAvoy. Carrier scores for both teams. And 4-3. So they pulled close, but not close enough. And a big trade just went down, guys. Jared Spurgeon and Marcus Foligno going to the Devils. And Minnesota gets Luke Hughes. That's kind of nuts. And Minnesota keeps trading away, guys. They now traded Jonas Brodin to Nashville for Askarov, which doesn't make a lot of sense when they already have Jesper Wallstedt. And our last matchup here, guys, between the created teams is the forwards versus the goalies once more. And the forwards are currently in a wild card spot. So I'm thinking they're definitely going to get a win here, which will, help them out even more. 4-0 lead. Ovi, McKinnon, Marchand, and Crosby. Still 4-0. 5-0 there. Patrick Waugh is just getting absolutely no help. I'm sure he's hating the team that he's on. Definitely curious to see what his stats are going to look like at the end of the season. And speaking of which, guys, we're actually at the end of the season now. We're only like a week out. And the forwards did make the playoffs. They're in a wild card spot. 96 points in 82 games. Looking at the defense team next. 51 points, finishes last in the division. And then looking at the goalies here. 35 points, last in their division and the NHL. 13-60-9. Defense there, 21-52-9. The offense, 46-32-4. Taking a look here at the scores, Matthews had 90 and 82. We'll take a look and see just how all the NHL players did. OV 89. Matthews actually was a goal-scoring leader as well. I mean, even guys that are like on the third line still produced a ton. Marchand only 53 though. So Panarin there, low scorer for like an actual NHL player, 38. But getting fourth line minutes, you can't really complain too much. Goaltending didn't really help them much. Those aren't the greatest stats, but I mean, they had a bunch of all-stars on offense who were just scoring a ton, so makes sense. Looking at the defense next year, Yossi led in scoring, 71, followed by McCarr, Fox, Hedman, Carlson, McAvoy. So the 6 defensemen were actually their 6 leading scorers, which is kind of funny. Colin Long here was actually 1 point away from tying Charlie McAvoy, but couldn't quite get it done. And we'll take a look at their goalie stats. I was curious to see if their goalie stats would be a little bit better because they do have such better defense in front of them. And I think they are 0.899, 3.51 compared to 0.892 to 3.38. Okay, so interesting. The defense had a better save percentage, but they actually had higher goals against, which is honestly kind of weird. You think the save percentage would be equal, but the goals against would be lower on the better defensive team. Not the case. And then finally here, the Great Britain goalies, Patrick Waugh there, had decent numbers considering the team in front of him. 0.922 save percentage, still though 3.32 against because he had so many shots he faced. Even Vasilevsky there, 0.916, 3.54. He won him a couple games though, Patrick Waugh. He had 2 shutouts there. Did the other goalies ever have a shutout? 1 shutout for the forwards. And the defense, 7 shutouts. Jeez, okay, so interesting. Maybe that D in front of him did, limit the shots, so he's able to get some shutouts easier, but when he actually faced a lot of shots, kind of fell apart there. And their team, 35 points for the leading scorer. Pretty bad plus minuses. So definitely kind of an interesting experiment there. Entire league, let's see. Austin Matthews on the Leafs led in scoring, followed by Kane on the Blackhawks, Marchand on the Bruins, Ovi on the Capitals. All the guys that are on our team, but not the ones actually playing for us aside from Matthews there. Draisaitl on the Oilers. And taking a look at the standings here, guys. Boston Bruins won the President's Trophy, the 115 points. The Devils finished second there, kind of surprisingly. So you had 7 with 100-plus points. The offense team, there you go, France forwards, 14th in the league, 96. Tied with the Canucks, really. They actually had more wins there, but less regulation overtime wins. So the Canucks were winning more in OT. And then I think we know that the defense team actually finished second last in the NHL. 31st there, 51 points, only beating out the goaltending team there. So, yeah, to answer the question, pretty obviously, offense matters the most when you have kind of the best players at each position, which makes sense. Like we said, there's 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies, really 1. So, the forward team's got like double the amount of star players, and the defense team 12 times the amount of star players as the goaltending team. So, we'll take a look now, guys, at the playoffs, see if this forward team can maybe go on a Cinderella run, because, you know, 2/3 of their team is ECHL, so we'll see what happens here. They're playing the Devils, and they actually lose the Devils in 6. So that's kind of crazy, because the Devils obviously are much... I mean, it's hard to say. Are they a worse team? They're much more balanced, but balance matters in the playoffs because we just got beaten 6. And I'll show you guys the awards next year. As you can see, the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup. Ovi there, 8 points in 6 games for us in the playoffs. Curious to see if any of the 3 teams won a player award. We already know the team awards there. Dallas actually beat out the Devils. Surprised they simmed so well. So, Max on the Leafs, Art Ross, and the Hart. Quinn Hughes, James Norris. I mean, we had the 6th best defense in the NHL. Can't even win the James Norris. Probably because their plus-minus was so bad. That actually reminded me, guys. I want to check defensive scoring here. So Roman Josi on the Predators had the most points, 75. Hughes 3 less with a almost double plus-minus. That's why he won the Norris. Carlson there. And then our Josi 71, minus 27. Okay, so that makes sense. And then in terms of goaltending here, I'm curious if Patrick Waugh's .922. Jonathan Quick, .923. We only started 46 games, so Patrick Waugh, .922 isn't bad. Obviously, his goals against, nowhere close, but Quick had an actual NHL team in front of him. Patrick Waugh did not. Pretty much identical save percentage. That's definitely impressive. So, we'll get back to the awards now. Maybe, you know, the voters feel bad for Waugh, give him the Vezina. Kane Lady Bing there. Lucas Raymond Calder. Sagan Conn Smythe. Vasilevsky got the Vezina on the Lightning there. Also got the William Jennings Trophy. Ryzik there got the Bill Masterton playing for the goalie team. Ryan O'Reilly Selke. Matthews Ted Lindsay. Matthews Maurice Shard. So Matthews cleaned up for the Maple Leafs, not for our team. But yeah, if you guys ever wondered, you know, in your franchise, what matters the most, this video here would tell you it's definitely the forward. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.